Alright, welcome to Illustrator for Beginners. This episode we will go into the mechanics of drawing with the pen tool, and at the end of the mechanical part we will actually do a hands-on project. We are going to outline this fish here, and I'll just show you something I did in my graphics design class 2 years ago, I guess it was. We did the stamp project. I made mine all fish, and all these started with outlining, tracing the fish in Illustrator using the pen tool. And here's a bigger picture of that particular one. So we're not going to do the entire fish. We're just going to do the outline working with the pen tool at the end. If you guys would like for me to actually do the entire fish, leave a comment below and let me know, and I may actually do that for y'all. There's several tools used that you can learn how to use just doing this one fish. Okay, so let's get out of here. If you want to follow along at the end, then go to Google Images, type in Nassau Grouper. You'll see on the second row here, this is the one we're outlining here, and it's the ones I base that stamp on. So if you want to follow along, go ahead and get you that picture and get it saved. Alright, the pen tool I consider to be the workhorse in Illustrator, especially when it comes to tracing other images. So to start with, the pen tool is located right here in your toolbar, and you'll notice you have pen, add, delete, anchor points, convert anchor points. We're not going to get into these right now. We're just going to get into this. We'll do other photos for that in the future. But so for starters, you could draw a straight lines. You start with a click. You don't actually see nothing until the next click. There's a click, next click, and you can draw another click there, another click there. We can go out here, we can go out here. Let's go this way, and you'll notice as I come over this anchor point, you get the little zero that shows up. See if you can see it here, the little zero right at the pen tool. That says it's ready to close, so you just go ahead and close, just like that. You can obviously you can change the color, the fills, etc. So we're just going to go ahead and remove the fill for now. Just leave the stroke. So that's drawing straight lines. Next thing we want to do is we want to draw curves. So let me delete this. Okay, again we have the pen tool. We're going to start with an anchor point, and then we're going to go over here, and the opposite direction of where you want the curve you're going to want to drag. So watch this. I'm dragging this way, the curve goes up. Okay, I'm going to press enter to accept that. Now going here, going here. I want the curve to go down, so I'm going to, whoops, hold on, Command Z out of that. Here, and I'm going to draw up, or drag up, drag the handle up, the curve goes down. Hit enter to accept that. Now let's do multiple curves, and I'm going to show you something. I'm going to put here, here. I'm going to draw down. Now I want another curve to go here, but if you'll notice, it went down right there. If you don't want that to happen, let me hit enter to accept that. If you want the curve to start from there and go up, you'll need to get rid of this handle right here. So watch this. Here, there, draw down. Then I'm going to come on this anchor point, and I'm going to shift click it. Get rid of that handle. Look, hold on, I messed that up. Let me back out of that. Okay. Hit enter to accept. If you don't hit enter to accept, it will continue on from your last anchor point. So here, here, we'll draw down. We'll come on this anchor point here, shift click, get rid of that handle there, and we can start the curve right from that point. Because if you remember, hit enter, accept that. If I don't get rid of that handle and I come back over here, it's going to do something like that. Now, hit enter, accept that. Let's say you doing a curve, and you do something like this. You get it twisted. Well, you can hit enter. You can get your direct select tool. If you can untwist it by doing this and not hitting enter, but you can untwist things like that. Okay. So hit enter. Whoops. Let's go back. And of course, if it happened and you haven't let go of your clicker yet, and you twist it, then you can obviously just untwist just like that. Now let me go ahead and select all this and get rid of it. Alright, so if you want to draw an S, or let's start with a U. A U here, of course you can drag up like that. We'll hit enter, accept that. And of course you can go like a small N or tunnel or whatever like that. And you could do it this way too. Okay. And if you want to create an S shape, go here. Hold on. Back out of that. Go ahead and click and drag down on your first anchor point. You're not going to see anything yet, but you will. You'll notice it gives you kind of an S shape there. And of course, another way to do an S shape is not by getting rid of the handle. That'll kind of do an S shape too if you don't get rid of that handle. So that's how you can do an S shape. Let's get rid of all this. And again, let's go over finish drawing a path. We're going to go here, here, here. And when you get there, you see the little circle at the end of the pen there on the back end. You can finish the path, and of course you can fill those paths. You don't have to finish the path if you don't want, and still fill. Just like that. Alright. Let's draw straight lines followed by a curve. So we'll go here, here, here. There's a curve. Let's do it this way. And I wanted to get rid of it. I wanted to do a straight line, so I'm going back out of that. Command and Control Z, Shift on there, and we'll draw another curve. Straight line with curves. So just remember, drag in the opposite direction that you want your curve. Let's get rid of this. And straight line. Of course, you can make your corners like that. Now, if you want to constrain it to a 45-degree angle, let's get a straight line here. Actually, let's just go get rid of all this. We're going to get rid of all this, and then we're going to constrain to 45-degree angles. So let's go ahead and start here. And we're going to shift click to get a 45-degree angle. And we're going to shift click again, gives us a 45-degree angle. Shift click again, gives us a 45-degree angle. Shift click again, gives us a 45-degree angle. Same for curves. Hit enter to accept that. Shift click a curve for 45-degree angle. Let's go ahead and shift click that anchor point to get rid of that handle. Come over here, shift click. That gives us a 45-degree angle as well for curves. Alright, now you got the basics of it. Now practice, practice, practice is what gets you better with this. But let's go ahead and do the project. Let's file, we're going to place our grouper. Yep, that one right there. We'll unlink it. We're going to place as a template. And you'll notice it automatically lowered the opacity by about 50%. And if you look in your layer panel, it's locked. You can't do anything with it. It gives you another layer to draw on right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our pen tool And we'll start. I'm going to actually make it a little bit bigger so I can kind of see what I'm doing. And I'm going to find my starting point right here. And basically, you're looking for where things change direction as to where you want to put your second anchor tool. So we're probably going to go here, and then we're going to put a little dip here. And then we're going to come all the way around here, make that curve. And then, let me see, probably come down maybe to here. Make that straight line, come up here, then make this curve, come around, so forth, so on. So let's get started. Click. And then I'm going to make that little bit of dip. And I'm going to shift click that, shift click that anchor point, get rid of that handle. And we're going to come up to about right here. Now, if you're not exact, don't worry about it. I'm going to show you how to move these handles around. I want to shift click again. I just make a habit of doing it. Let me see. Probably, I'm thinking about right here. Sometimes you got to play with it. That'd be about right. I'll shift click on that anchor point. I'm going to come down here. Then I'm going to come straight right there. And then I'm going to come about right like that. Shift click that because I know it's going to mess up if I don't. We'll come down here. We'll make this. Get it close here. And like I said, sometimes you got to play, you got to adjust your handles. We'll make this as close as possible. It's going to be a little more uniform than the actual fish is. And we'll say about right here. And probably about right there. And we're going to come on down to, say, about right there. And probably about, let's see, probably can go all the way here. It's been a while since I've done this. See how it lines up. That looks pretty good. And we got a little dip here, so we're going to just go right there. And probably about right there. We're not going to go into the mouth. I'm going to show you how to cut the mouth out. So we got our circle there. So let's probably about like that. Let's hit enter to accept that. And now let's go up and we're going to start down here in the body. And we're going to come up this fin. And then we're going to come down here. Shift click that anchor point. And we're going to come up here. Shift click that anchor point. And we're going to come up here. Again, shift click that anchor point. And we're going to come up here. No, actually, let's don't do that. Let's go ahead and give that a little bit of. And we'll come up here. That's good enough. And we're going to come up here. And let's come across the top. And we're going to come up here. Messed up. Control Z. I want to shift click that point. And about like that. And about like that. And about like that. And about like that. And we'll come here. And we'll come down into the body. And we'll come over here. Don't worry about it being down in the body. I'm going to show you what to do with that in a minute. And you can enter, or you can actually hit your move tool too. Will also make it accept it. Oops. Just don't do both like I just did. Alright. And now we want to do this fin here. So I'm going to come down below this one here just so I can see what I'm doing. And we're going to come up here, put a little curvature on it. And we'll put that little dip in there. And I'm thinking we might be able to do this whole thing about like that. Alright, you see I messed up right here, so I'm going to go ahead and Z out of that. If you don't hit that anchor point just right, it messes up. So let's go like this. There we go. Good enough. And we're going to come down into the body. And again, I forgot to shift click my anchor point there, so let's do that because it's messing me up. And we got our little circle there. Let's complete that path and hit enter to accept that. Let's go ahead and do this fin here. And probably about right. Whoops. I needed to drag a little bit. There we go. Drag a little bit there. And we could probably work with it just like that. And we'll roll around like this. And we'll go here. And we're going to complete it right there. And obviously I messed up. Let me back out of here. I forgot to gotta get in the habit of shift clicking those, because if you don't, it comes back, it messes you up a lot. A lot of times it will mess you up if you don't get rid of that handle. That didn't work out right. There we go. Hit enter to accept that. Let's go ahead and get this bottom fin. We'll start in the body, and we'll come to about right there. Just a little bit of curve. And we'll come like about like that. And we'll come back in the body right here. And there we go, got that fin. And we're going to do the same. We're going to hit enter to accept that. And we're going to come down like about like that. And we'll put that little dent in there. And we'll put that little dent in that one. It's just a matter of practice to know where to put your anchor points at. And we're going to connect that. That's a, you know, on the if I do the fish, I'll actually go and I'll outline these with the pen tool. I'll do some outlines on the mouth, get some more detail. But this should be enough to get you a practice scene. So let's go ahead and show you how to cut out this mouth. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and I'm going to go ahead and put a fill color in there. Just any old color, doesn't matter. And I'm going to lower the opacity of that so I can see what I'm doing to about 20%. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to use a thing called divide the path below. And what I want to do is I want to get this, and I'm going to start out here, and I'm going to come in here. Let's get rid of that stroke there. I mean that fill. I'll shift click, get rid of that handle, and then I'm going to come back out here, put a little curve like that. Again, shift click to get rid of that handle. And then we're going to go to Object, Path, Divide Objects Below. And then we're going to select that. Oops, wrong one. We're going to select that, and we're going to double click to get it into, what's this mode called? Isolation. We're going to isolate that path, okay? So we have this path selected now. We're going to just cut it out, and we can raise the opacity back up so you can see what it just did. Raise the opacity back up, make sure I got it selected. And you can see it just cut the mouth out. Now with these fins, with the outside fins, we want to go to our layer panel, or I tell you even better than that. Let's do it this way. Let's select this and right click and arrange and send backwards. That didn't work, did it? Why didn't it work? So let's just pull it down. There we go. So if you have trouble like that, you always go to your layer panel and just move the fin back behind the body there. And so if we were to give our fins a fill, let's give it a blue fill just for color's sake. And we'll give this one a red fill. And we'll give this one a yellow fill. Whoops. We'll give this one a yellow fill here. Or let's get the color swatch, yellow. And we'll pick out a color from the color swatches for this one. And we'll get that one orange. So you'll notice how the fins are all sitting behind the body. And that is how you do an outline. That's a good way. Tracing stuff is a good way to get into practice on how to use the pen tool. And that's where it really comes in real useful. Again, if you guys would like for me to do the entire fish in a future video, which if I get enough responses, I will do pretty soon, and show you how to use the blob tool and the gradient tools and more detail in the fins and stuff. Like if you'd like to get that, and let me show you how I use the blob tool to make these things, and the gradient tools and stuff, and all that detail, just let me know in the comments below. For more video tutorials, web design, graphic design, WordPress, .NET Nuke, all kinds of stuff, all for free, visit www.skeeterz71.com. If you liked this video and it helped you, how about giving me a like or share and leave a comment, or all the above. Thank you and have a good day.